Hey guys, Tato back again, and we have the second episode of the 26th season of South Park to go over. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching and supporting the channel. It means the world to me, and you guys will never know. If you guys like the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and throw a comment down too. I try to reply to all of them. It really helps me out in the algorithm, and it means a lot to me. So without further ado, let's just hop into the video. In this one, we get to see Kyle struggle with finding his identity and his brand, and we also get to see South Park poke fun at the royal family. They use the Canadian monarchy and the prince and his wife, who claim they just want privacy, but do they really? Let's just hop into the episode and see what it has. So this week we're back with another Kyle-focused episode, and he's feeling left out of the friend group again. The episode starts with a viewing of the Queen of Canada's funeral, which is obviously a representation of Queen Elizabeth, as Ike cries his eyes out over the event. This is what kinda sets up the main conflict of the episode, showing the prince and his quote-unquote bitch wife at the funeral getting shunned as Ike and Kyle argue over who gets to use the computer.
Ike and Clink are typing my friends! No, get off! Ike, goddammit, get off!
This transitions to a scene in the hallway of the school where Kyle's questioned by the boys why he didn't hop on the game last night, and we know it's because his little brother spent all night crying over the Queen's funeral. Kyle tries to apologize and explain, but they're kind of just like, hey, don't even worry about it, man. We just played without you. Which clearly upsets Kyle as all the boys talk about the fucking sweet drip they got last night.
You get to upgrade your rifle stand? Yeah, it's got a lot better range now. What about you? I kept the same gun, but I got some sweet drip. Nah, sweet drip, dude.
This leads Butters into telling Kyle he basically needs to find his brand, revealing that his parents sent him to, and I quote, come hammer brand management when they saw his brand wasn't working with people. So obviously he takes Kyle there. That's when the boys end up at the brand management store, where this over-the-top chipper employee tells Kyle to take a test so they can find his brand, before we get into the B story about the prince and his Instagram-loving bitch wife who decided to leave Canada to go on their worldwide privacy tour after being shunned and shamed by the royal family. Now this is obviously poking fun at Prince Harry and his wife Meghan for constantly saying they want to be left alone, but looking as if they do almost anything to stay in the public eye. This isn't just for the prince and his wife, this goes for many celebrities who constantly sing the blues of wanting their privacy while continuing to pull stunts that put them front and center. This just leads to a super funny montage of the prince and his quote-unquote Instagram-loving bitch wife going around the world protesting for privacy until they finally decide to stay in South Park, bringing the problem to Kyle's doorstep, literally. Meanwhile, in the main storyline, Kyle is going through his options for his brand, but he feels like none of them really fit his true personality. This is when the store employee tells him it doesn't matter who you are, it matters what people are attracted to. And I'm just gonna say, I found it super fucking funny that every brand option included victim as one of the characteristics, because it does seem like a trait that almost every social media influencer gives themselves nowadays. Like, they're a victim of some sort of controversy, you know what I mean? I don't know, I just found it funny. So at this point, Kyle's been trying out his new brand a little bit, and it seems like it's not really working. His friends aren't really responding to it or liking him anymore, and now the prince and his wife, who live directly across the street, have kind of pointed their antics onto Kyle after he straight up told them no one really gives a shit. Like, just shut up, you know what I mean?
Hey, can you two keep it down?
Hey, you ever heard of a thing called privacy?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Will you two just shut up and go away?
But anyways, this leads Kyle back to the brand management store to change his brand once again because he just wants his friends to like him. And this is what gives Kyle his final brand, which is Kyle. Thick-skinned, super cool, nothing bothers him, victim.
Kyle. He's a thick-skinned, super cool, nothing bothers him. Victim.
I found the idea for a brand funny because that's exactly what everyone wants to be, minus the victim part. Thick-skinned, super cool, and nothing bothers him. You can't just break your personality down on social media to be these little generic characteristics that everyone's gonna love. When you try to please everyone, you please no one, and I feel like that's what we see with Kyle and what we see with the world. And I don't know if this really adds to the narrative, but there's this really funny scene where the prince and his wife get mad that Kyle won't pay any attention to them, so the prince rubs his blue penis all over Kyle's window in reference to Prince Harry's frostbitten dick, which I just had to mention because, like, what the hell, dude? You're gonna take a shot at the man's frostbitten wiener? It's kind of a low blow.
This is an outrage. We'll just see how he deals with my blue penis.
Now that we're at the end of the episode, we see the whole brand thing come to a boiling point. Kyle finally feels confident with his brand, not really, when he tries to find Butters to thank him for showing him a better way to live. When he finds out Butters is getting the shit beat out of him by Bebe, basically for trying to be something he isn't, all because it's supposed to fit his brand.
I wasn't even doing anything, and he came up and started talking shit to me! Yeah, everyone likes a guy that's strong and assertive, so I told Baby to go herself. Butters, what are you doing? This isn't you! Hey, Kyle, will you relax? You're kind of up my brand.
This is when Kyle realizes enough is enough and drags Butters back to Cumhammer to put all this to an end, where they run into no other than the prince and his Instagram-loving bitch wife. They get into a big argument where Kyle realizes reducing yourself into a brand or a product for people to adore isn't the right thing to do. Everyone has faults and problems. We're only human. None of us should be a product. This is when the prince points out to his wife that they really can get away from it all. They could get away from the magazines and interviews. They could just live their life and be themselves. Until she's not responding and he opens up her mouth to yell in it, getting nothing but an echo back, showing some people are just hollow in a super literal way. Hello? And this causes everyone but the prince's wife to leave as he walks out alone in a really sad exit. In the last few moments of the episode, we get a really heartwarming scene where all the boys show up to Kyle's house and invite him out to play. They say that he hasn't really been himself lately and they think that he could use some outside time, finally including him in the group again. Then they go to play a basketball game where even the prince shows up, playing off the episode with his drums for some reason that I have no clue. So what'd you guys think? I thought that was a pretty decent episode. Definitely wasn't as funny as last week, but I think it had a super solid storyline with a great message, and we even got to see the prince's blue penis. So if you liked the video, it would mean the world if you subscribed and left a like and let me know what you thought about the episode down in the comments. I try my best to reply to everyone I can. Thanks again for watching. I'm Tato, and I'll see you next time.